Transitioning to a full-time business. And what does full-time mean? Full-time doesn't mean time, meaning a 40-hour week. Full-time means creating a full-time income by your definition that will support what you need it to support. Whether you're retired and you want some extra income, whether you have a job that maybe that you love or you want to have some extra income on the side and do some coaching with it. Maybe you freaking hate your job and you want to get out of it and you want to do coaching to replace that income and have a lifestyle for yourself, or any other definition of that. That's my mission as I help coaches transition to a full-time business. I record all of my live shows and I put them on my website, sellingcoaching.com. In my university, I have a lot of great resources to help you on your way, whether you're just starting off or you've been doing this for a handful of years and you want to really kind of put some good structures in your business and figure out how you're actually going to do this to create a better income for yourself. Right on the homepage, if you enter your name and email, I have a great resource for you, which is launching your full-time coaching business, the first 3 vital steps. So if you want to check that out, if you enter your name and email, that's going to give you instant access to an audio program that you can listen to. And that will also put you in my email community so you can get my emails on a weekly basis. I give some great information there, but also you can start to see how I utilize my email to communicate and stay in front of my audience, which is vital for you to do with your business. So with that being said, let's talk about today's topic, and that is paying attention to the pace you grow your business. Okay, this is a big topic, and this is coming up because when I'm working with my mentor coaching clients, this is before they even hire me. One of the first things I on in their world that takes up their time and their energy. So that's the biggest thing. So you're a mom, you're a dad, you've got a job, it's full-time, it's part-time. How is the job in terms of hours in the job? You know, is it an 8-hour day? Is it a 12-hour day? Do you have a commute? Is it short? Is it long? How exhausting is the commute if you have one at all? How exhausting is your job? How quickly do you need to be done with your job? Is it a job that like, all right, no, it's not bad, or I need to be done with it yesterday, or like, oh no, I love my job. Like, where are you at? Are you married? You know, how's that relationship? How supportive is your husband or your significant other or your wife or whatever it is? You know, how supportive are they? You know, what's your role in the family as a mother or as a father or not? You know, we've got to start taking a look at those things. You know, some people are going through a coaching school. Some people aren't, you know, and so we've got to start to understand a lot of those elements. I look to understand those elements because one of the first things I'll start looking at with my mentor coaching clients is then, okay, so now what is on the other side your business? What are your expectations and wants with your business? Do you need it to produce income now? Are you all set financially? Meaning, you know, is your job or your pension or your 401k or whatever you've got set up financially, or someone else supporting you, et cetera? You know, are you all set where you don't need to earn any money in your coaching business right now? And that doesn't mean that you don't want to. It just means that you don't need to. Because see, I want to set a situation up for you where you don't need to earn money in your coaching business right now or ever. And it doesn't mean we're not setting goals. It doesn't mean we don't want, and the reason is because when you're on the phone with a potential client, you can't need them to hire you. So if you're on the phone with me and I need you to hire me because my mortgage is due and my car payment's due and I've got to pay this or this broke or whatever, I want to pay off debt if I have debt, or I want to buy something or go on a trip, like I can't have that happen for you. And so if that's the case and I'm on the phone with somebody and I need that person to hire me, I'm going to act and perform differently. And I'm going to have more sales tactics and be probably the salesperson that I don't want to be, because I need that person to move forward. Now, of course, I want them to move forward if it's right for them and myself, but the point is we can't need that to happen. So I want to take a look at some of these situational elements in your world, not only with your world itself in terms of where's your energy, emotional, physical energy being required on a daily basis. And then also on this side is, you know, what are your hopes and expectations, needs and wants for your business? Because we've got to somehow start to marry those two, because one of the biggest challenges I find that coaches have isn't actually an external challenge, something like a situational challenge. It's more of an internal challenge. And there's obviously the internal challenges of our what we would maybe call those limiting beliefs, the beliefs that we have that hold us back. I'm not good enough. Who's going to listen? Who's going to listen or read what I have to say? Who's going to want to hire me? Who's going to want to spend X amount of dollars to have me as their coach, right? Those are beliefs that can limit us there. But the other challenge that's an internal challenge is actually when it comes down to what we're here in terms of our pacing. It's our expectation of what we want with our business or need. And then there's actually what actually happens in reality. So there's the mentor coaching client of mine that, let's say, that gets on the phone that says like, yeah, I'm in my job right now. I've got so much, X, Y, and Z going on, but you know what? I got a plan and I'm going to launch this coaching business. And, by June of this year, I'm going to quit and I'm going to be doing this full time. Or by the end of the year, I'm going to quit and do this full time. Okay, fine. That's cool. Like, you've got a vision, you have your wants. Okay, so now let's look at all those other factors that I just went over and to see not how realistic that is. That's one way of putting it. But rather, let's just start to see now, this is the point of the topic today, is what pace we're able to work at, so that when we're able to get to your time frame of June or the end of the year, let's see where we're at. And what I don't want someone doing is saying, I'm going to quit my job in June or the end of the year, and whether it's realistic or not, just having that expectation. So then when we get there, and maybe they haven't even done their website yet, maybe they haven't even, figured out their niche, or, if they're working with me, they have, because I'm going to move you along. But, or maybe you haven't gotten your first client yet, or you fill in the blank of what you haven't done. You're definitely not ready to quit your job, or you're definitely not ready to, get to the threshold you thought or hoped, wanted, or expected to be at. And now what happens is we've disappointed ourselves. We haven't met our expectations. Another way of saying it is we failed. Did you fail though? No, you didn't fail, but it feels like a failure. And you're actually, what's happening is you're not setting yourself up for success along the way, because the reality of what, I don't even like that word, the reality, but I don't have a better word for right now. So that's what we're using. So the reality of what actually happens in our world on a day-to-day basis, what we can accomplish in our business, we can only accomplish so much. And I don't care if you have full time, meaning hours in a day, where you don't have a job. Let's just say the ultimate scenario. You don't have a job, you're not in a relationship, you don't have kids, you have minimal to no financial responsibilities because you live with someone who supports you. And I'm not saying that's the most ideal for you. I'm just saying the most ideal for, meaning all I have to do in my business is, my day is to do my coaching business. Right? That's the most ideal. Most likely none of us are in those situations. However, if that's the most ideal, even if you were able to create that for yourself, that's like college. You know what I mean? Those days. But even if you had that situation, it doesn't mean like you're going to be any more successful than the you now that has, a spouse and 3 kids and a full-time job that you hate with a 90-minute commute each way. And okay, it doesn't mean that you're going to be more successful. You just have more time. And you might have more physical and emotional energy than you would in that other situation and that you now. However, it doesn't mean you can't steadily move forward. It just, here's the difference. It's the pace with which you move forward at, and the expectation around that pace, which is going to determine your future success. So I graduated from a coaching school, IPEC, in 2004. I really started my coaching business earlier than that when I was in the school, call it like 2003 or so. But I've been doing this full time since I graduated. Now, yeah, there was a transition out of my fitness career. I was in the fitness industry 15 plus years, and I did some stuff along the way, that I just loved. And why would I give it up? Because it's good little extra money, and I love what I'm doing, and I worked hard to get to that position. But coaching was the main thing, for the past, now I'm going on 16 years as of this show. And I didn't get to this spot like by having those expectations. Of course, I had big dreams and stuff like that, but I just was like, I love this, and this is the perspective I want to share with you to see what you can adopt that works for you. Is I loved coaching, and I knew this is something that I would be good at, or maybe was good at as I started it, because I felt confident around it. It was helping people in a way that we're coming from the personal training world and the fitness industry. It was different because it was more on not the physical application of a result like diet and exercise. Let's say it was more of the emotional, the mental, the habitual side, the perspective side of a result, be it health, relationship, business, you name it. And that's what I liked, because I felt like these were deeper and more sustainable, longer term than just doing something, the application of it. And that's the biggest piece about it is, with the transition with this business of yours, it's going to take years. It's going to take years. And I don't know what years means, but it means more than 1 year. And some of my most successful clients, like a couple of my clients that I've seen and I've been working with, I'm going into the third year with them, or I'm going into the second year with them. And like the year before they hired me, like one person I'm thinking of in particular, they did $4,000 in their coaching business. The second year when they hired me, they moved to, what was it? I think it was $21,000 in their second year. That's where we started working together. And now this last year, which is their third year in business, their second year working with me, they did $44,000. Okay? Now, that's like, when I look at that, I go like, you couldn't be on a better pace. Now, is it, $4,000 to $100,000 to $200,000? Yeah, but that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I'm just telling you, it's not going to happen. Is it going to happen to someone? Yes. Can it happen to someone? Yes. Is it going to happen to you? I'm not going to say no, but I'm going to say, don't expect that. Don't shoot for it. But the reason I share those numbers, okay, first year, 4,000, we start working, 21,000. Second year, we work together. The third year in business, 44,000. Okay, now we're in their fourth year, and it's the third year working with me. Here's what our goal is for the year. Let's break that $50,000 mark and see where we can go. And that's going to be dependent upon, doing the work that they've been doing, and then also who they can start to collaborate with and partner with, because that's going to fuel the fire, and that's where they can go well over 50,000, go into that, maybe $70,000 to $90,000 mark, and maybe this is their breakthrough year. Maybe this is their breakthrough year where they break 100,000 because there's a connection or whatever. But it doesn't matter, because what they're doing is they're building steadily, and they're finding the pace that they can work at, and they're getting results, and they're slowly increasing their results month upon month, year upon year. And that's how it's done. Because when we talk about pacing, when I say years, is where I'm coming from as your mentor, is I'm assisting you to do this long term. So add 15 years, I'm going on my 16th year doing this. So add 15, 16 years to you right now, wherever you are in your coaching business, whether it's year one, T0, or you've been doing this or playing around with it 2 or 3 years. I don't care what the number is, but add 15 years to it. Imagine you doing it there. And imagine year one being 4,000, and then 22, and then 44,000. Then let's just say 55, and then 60, and then 70. And now we're on year 5, 6. And even if you're kind of like doing this a little bit, and you hit a plateau for 1 or 2 years, and you're, 50, 60, 70,000, you know what? Now you're earning some decent money. And, some people can live off of that. Some people are like, oh my God, that's so not enough. Okay. But at the end of the day, you're in a room like this by yourself, creating $50,000 a year. Like, that's good money. That's good by yourself. So what I'm saying is keep on that path, because you're at year 5 or 6. And I'm saying 15 plus. Like, I'm going to still be doing this when I'm 20 years, 25 years, God forbid, God help me, God willing too, in I don't know how long, right? But I'm going to do it till I do it. I don't have a time frame. I'm just going to do it. And what this look, am I doing selling coaching and helping coaches transition to a full-time business 5 years from now? I don't know. I don't know where I'll be or what I'll be doing, but I know I'll be doing something in this capacity. I wasn't helping coaches transition to a full-time business 5 years ago. Or I think a little bit longer than that. It was my coaching business, and I was doing other stuff. I transitioned into this piece because of where I've gone with my business. But my business and I'm going to evolve. But we don't have to think about that. But think about that. So in 5 years, you're in that, let's just say $50,000, $60,000 mark. Okay, yeah, you're like, oh my God, if I'm not beyond then, I failed. Why? That's really good. And so then can you slowly start looking at different strategies and monetizing differently, or saying, okay, why am I stuck here? Okay, great. So now I can take it to that next level. And now I'm at, maybe 70, 80, 90,000. And maybe you have a breakthrough year and you break six figures. Who cares when that is? Who cares when that is? If it's next year, this year, and 5 years from now. Now, some of you are like, oh, well, I can't wait that long, or that needs to happen before then because I can't stay in my job that long. It's like, okay, but why do you have to plan that out right now? Why do you have to figure out something that you can't figure out right now? Because that's the truth of it, is you can't figure out some of that stuff right now. You can't predict it right now. So why are you trying? So release that, stop that, and focus on what can I do right now today, and what can I accomplish in the time that I have, whether it's 8 hours, an hour, or 5 minutes, because of the situational elements in your world. What can I accomplish right now? That's all you have, is right now. Yesterday is gone and tomorrow's a mystery. So all you have is right now. It's now o'clock. That's when results are created. You might not have tomorrow, so you have right now. So what can you do in the time that you have? And then is it along the lines of the activities that are necessary to produce a result? And if that's the case, then you've moved forward. And that's all you can do. That's all you can do. And the next day you wake up again, and yeah, there's other stuff you got to do, and you can plan ahead, and you can know what's going on. And of course, but have those strategies day to day and be consistent with them over time, and start to doesn't mean don't be ambitious and have some goals. But you probably heard me, if you follow me, a student of mine, you probably heard me say is don't set result-based goals. Meaning, I'm going to earn $100,000 this year. I'm going to get 5 clients this month. I'm going to get 10 complimentary sessions this week or this month. Or those are result-based goals that you cannot predict, and you will only disappoint yourself. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, I want to have my first 6-figure year. The first 6-figure year of my coaching business, I remember it was, I think it was like maybe October in 2005, 2006. I'm going to say 2006 just to be safe, but I was at about $60,000, which at the time, that's the most I'd earned in my coaching business. And it was like October. So it was really close to the end of the year. And I'm like, I want to break 6 figures. And I hired a mentor at the time, and I'm like, I want to do this. And I ended up doing it. And I had a couple events set up that were pretty big events, and I want to maximize them. And then we're like, okay, I figured, okay, maybe I could do like about 15,000 at each event. And that's still a buffer. I needed, like a $15,000 and $20,000 buffer on top of that, just because I didn't know what I would do. And so I set up programs. I set up live events, and I ended up, I think that year I did 125. Like I blew it away. And so it was really cool. But the point is that I just got there, and it happened, and I created it, and it didn't matter of like, I just want to break it. And I set up the activities, and I set up my goals around the activities that could produce that result. And the whole point of me saying I did 125 that year, I didn't do 100,000. I did 100. I beat that by $25,000. So the point is if I had just set that goal, and that was actually the first year I realized I don't want to actually set result-based goals, because I also feel like goals can hold you back. In other words, if I just was going for $100,000 and once I hit it, I just let off the gas, I wouldn't have hit 125. I just said, I want to break that. And I feel like, and I said, what do I need to do in order to do this? And I set those activities up, and I just went just hard with it, and I hustled, and look at where I got to. And that's what I'm asking you is so don't set the year that you're going to break 6 figures, the year that you're going to break 50,000, the month that you're going to do 5,000, or the first month where you're going to break $1,000 or $500. Like, there's all little milestones, but look at it and go like, hey, it's 10 days left in the month, and I'm at $500 this month. You know what? Can I do 750? You know what I mean? And like, that's a PR, personal record. That's from my CrossFit, so that's a PR personal record for you. So, okay. So now don't say, oh, I'm going to get $150 this month. What do I need to do? What are the activities I need to do between now and the next 10 days, let's say before the end of the month, that we're going to create that type of a result? And you know what? Maybe you break $1,000, or maybe you just end up at and you don't get any business, and you stay at 500 for the month. Okay, but guess what? I guarantee you, whatever you did in those last 10 days, if it didn't actually turn into any income, there, fast forward the next 5, 6, 10 days from there, I bet you it's going to turn into some business. Because there's work, we get paid today for the work we did yesterday, meaning over the last months, etc. So it's gonna pan out. But you're also not gonna be disappointed because, I had to make $750 this month. You would have liked to have done it. Just like that year I said, I want to break 6 figures this year. I just could feel it. Something was going on and I had a motivation inside of me. If I didn't do it, okay, well, I probably would have come really close. I ended up blowing it away. But the point is, it's like, all right, so now just keep moving forward. And I would have launched into the new year having kicked butt and created a lot of results.